Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to explore a concept that holds profound power yet often feels counterintuitive in the face of adversity: silence. In a world that encourages us to speak up, fight back, and make noise, the idea of staying silent might seem out of place. But silence, when mastered, is one of the most transformative tools we possess. Silence is often misunderstood. Many see it as a sign of weakness or avoidance, something that happens when we don't have the right words or the courage to speak. But in reality, silence can be one of the most powerful tools we possess, especially in challenging times. It is not the absence of action, but a deliberate and intentional choice to create space for thought, for clarity, and for a deeper understanding of what is happening around us. When faced with difficult situations, our instinct is often to react quickly. Words might come tumbling out, driven by emotion rather than reason. While immediate reactions can sometimes feel satisfying in the moment, they often lead to misunderstandings, escalation, or regret. Silence, on the other hand, allows us to press pause. It gives us the opportunity to breathe, to step back, and to assess the situation with a clear mind. Consider a heated argument. In such moments, emotions tend to run high, and words can become weapons. Choosing silence doesn't mean surrendering or agreeing with what is being said, it means taking control. By staying quiet, we give ourselves the gift of time to process what the other person is saying and time to evaluate how we truly feel about it. This pause can prevent the argument from spiraling into something destructive and instead create an opening for constructive dialogue later. Silence also serves as a mirror, reflecting our inner world. When we allow ourselves to sit quietly without distraction, we begin to notice the thoughts and feelings that often get buried beneath the noise of daily life. In challenging times, this self-awareness is crucial. It helps us identify what we're truly struggling with, beyond the surface level chaos. Maybe we're feeling scared, unheard, or unprepared. Whatever it is, silence helps us name and understand it. And that understanding is the first step toward addressing it. This strength in silence isn't just about what it does for us internally. It also influences how others perceive and respond to us. When we choose to pause and not engage in reactive behaviors, we project a sense of calm and control. This can be incredibly powerful, particularly in leadership or conflict resolution settings. Others may see our quiet presence as a sign of confidence and wisdom, which can inspire trust and de-escalate tension. It's important to recognize that silence isn't always easy. In a world that values quick responses and constant communication, choosing silence can feel countercultural, even risky. We might worry that our quietness will be interpreted as disinterest or weakness. But over time, as we practice the art of silence, we begin to see its transformative effects. We gain clarity, reduce unnecessary stress, and improve our relationships by responding thoughtfully instead of impulsively. Silence is strength, not because it avoids confrontation or difficulty, but because it transforms how we engage with it. It teaches us to lead with intention and to navigate life's challenges with resilience and grace. By embracing silence, we create room for growth, for better understanding, and for a deeper connection with ourselves and the world around us. Silence is often thought of as an absence, but in reality, it is a profound presence. It is a tool that, when used intentionally, can deepen our connections with others and ourselves. In challenging times, silence can feel counterintuitive. We often believe that solving problems requires constant discussion, debate, or explanation. Yet silence creates a unique kind of space, one that invites reflection, fosters understanding, and strengthens relationships in ways words often cannot. In our interactions with others, silence can be a powerful way of showing respect and care. When someone is sharing their thoughts or feelings, particularly in a difficult moment, the act of listening in silence communicates more than words ever could. It says, "I see you, and I'm holding space for you." It allows the other person to express themselves fully without fear of interruption, judgment, or the need to defend their emotions. In these moments, silence becomes a gift, a way to honor their experience. Deep listening, which silence makes possible, is not about simply waiting for our turn to speak. It's about being fully present with the other person, tuning into not just their words, but also their tone, their body language, and the emotions they might not yet have the words to articulate. This level of attentiveness fosters trust and connection. It demonstrates that we value their perspective, even if we don't necessarily agree with it. Silence also creates a pause that allows emotions to settle. In moments of conflict or heightened tension, our first instinct might be to fill the space with explanations, justifications, or attempts to resolve the situation quickly. But rushing to respond often exacerbates the problem, as emotions run too high for meaningful dialogue. Choosing silence in these moments doesn't mean withdrawing or ignoring the issue. Instead, it provides an opportunity for both sides to reflect and regroup, making it possible to re-engage in a more constructive and empathetic way. This isn't just about external connections. Silence also helps us connect more deeply with ourselves. In the absence of constant conversation and noise, we can hear the quieter voices within us, our instincts, our fears, and our hopes. Challenging times can leave us feeling overwhelmed or disconnected from our inner compass. Silence provides a chance to realign, to listen inward, and to gain clarity about what we truly need or want. When practiced regularly, silence becomes a tool for cultivating empathy, not just for others but also for ourselves. It reminds us to approach both our own struggles and those of others with compassion. It allows us to recognize that every person, including ourselves, is navigating challenges that aren't always visible on the surface. In a world that often prioritizes speaking over listening, silence can feel like an act of rebellion, a way to push back against the noise and chaos. But more than that, it is an act of connection. By embracing silence, we create space for understanding, for healing, and for the kind of relationships that can weather even the most difficult storms. Silence, when embraced as a deliberate practice, becomes a powerful tool for resilience. In challenging times, resilience is what helps us navigate uncertainty, manage stress, and find our footing when the ground beneath us feels unsteady. Silence offers us the opportunity to pause, reflect, and build the inner strength necessary to endure and thrive in the face of adversity. In a world that often demands quick fixes and instant answers, silence allows us to step away from the rush and chaos. It becomes a sanctuary, a space where we can temporarily disengage from external pressures and turn inward. This isn't about avoiding problems, but about giving ourselves the time and clarity to address them effectively. When we take a moment of silence before reacting, we create room for thoughtful decision-making instead of impulsive responses. During moments of silence, our minds have the freedom to process emotions and make sense of complex situations. Challenging times often bring a flood of feelings: fear, anger, confusion, or even despair. If we don't take the time to sit with these emotions, they can overwhelm us or lead to reactions that we later regret. Silence gives us the opportunity to acknowledge and validate these feelings without being consumed by them. It's in this quiet space that we can begin to regain a sense of control over our emotional landscape. Silence also plays a key role in helping us manage stress. The constant barrage of information, expectations, and responsibilities can leave us feeling drained. A deliberate moment of silence acts as a reset button for our minds and bodies. It lowers the stress response, slows our breathing, and brings us back to the present moment. Over time, integrating periods of silence into our daily routines builds our capacity to handle stress more effectively, turning it from a reactive state to a proactive one. Another way silence fosters resilience is by sharpening our self-awareness. In stillness, we can reflect on our values, priorities, and goals. We can ask ourselves important questions: what truly matters in this moment? What can I let go of? What is within my control? Silence helps us separate the essential from the trivial, enabling us to focus our energy where it will have the greatest impact. Moreover, silence can inspire creative problem solving. When we step away from the noise and pressure to find immediate solutions, our minds are free to explore new perspectives and ideas. Often, it is in the quiet moments when we are walking, meditating, or simply sitting in stillness that breakthroughs happen. Building resilience through silence doesn't mean retreating from the world or its challenges. On the contrary, it prepares us to re-engage with greater clarity, strength, and purpose. It's a practice that equips us to face adversity not with fear or panic, but with confidence and poise. In the end, silence becomes a form of inner power. It reminds us that resilience isn't about never falling, it's about the ability to rise again, grounded and ready. By embracing silence, we give ourselves the space to heal, to grow, and to approach life's challenges with unwavering resolve.